Hey guys, I'm Steven, the Salon Guy, and I want to welcome you to week 3 in this series called Building a Brand, where I help you guys help build your brand, help you understand what it is you're passionate about, what you want to do, and how to help you get there, because it's not easy. And this is the 3rd week of your Building a Brand series. So at this point, you should have accomplished a few things. You should recognize what it is you want to do, who you want to go after, who is your audience, a name of your brand, or what your company is called, or whatever you want to call it. You should have at least a Facebook page now, a YouTube channel if you're doing videos. You should have invested in any type of equipment you might need, some marketing pieces. Even if you don't have them all printed out yet, you should have at least something being worked on. Not ready to really go out there yet and start grinding out and hustling like crazy, because you need to have all these things in place before you can start doing that, because you can't go out to all these events and start handing nothing out to people. So you have to have a few of these things in place before you can start doing this. So, your social media should be lined up, your Facebook page, your Twitter account, your website. You should have your own URL by now. If you don't have a website, a blog, but you can also purchase your own email, your own domain just for email purposes. Like I said, Steven@StevenMarinaro.com or Steven@TheSalonGuy.com, which is my email address. So you definitely should have that lined up. All of these things basically should be locked in place by now, and I'm hoping that you guys have been working hard towards this. And again, you realize it probably doesn't, it hasn't cost you really much money at this stage, because a lot of these things you can get for free. Well, anything that you want to do, there has to be sometimes, some sort of investment, whether it's buying a video camera. But like I said, you can get a video camera starting from, $200 up to thousands of dollars. But if you want to get a little HD handy cam, for $200-$300 or $400, you can do that, and you can start recording videos of whatever it is you want to do. Get a little tripod, mount it up, get some, memory cards. It's pretty simple to find out how to do this stuff and start recording, what you want to do. Whether you want to start teaching people how to do photography, I'm always searching online how to do videos and technical stuff, and there's a ton of people out there doing this stuff. And you know what? They're the ones getting all the views, because there's not that many people out there doing it. And there's some really good ones, and then there's some not so good ones. So week 3, this is where things are going to start to become a little bit more of a challenge, because now you have these things ready to go. You've got marketing pieces, or if they're being printed right now, or they're still being designed, you're working on that. You've got your domain, you've got your blog, you've got a few things lined up, and you're getting to that point where you're going to have to start saying, hey, look, now I can go out there and start doing things. Even if you want to build a brand, you want to rebuild your brand. You have an existing business for 10 years, and you want to start rebuilding what you have. That's crucial too. And sometimes, at this stage, by the 3rd week, you have a clear vision. Now it's like, okay, now how do I get the motivation, the strength, the courage to actually do it? Because a lot of times, 80% is believing you can do it, and 20% is actually doing it. If you believe in yourself, you can make possible. Sometimes we don't believe that we actually can do something when we can. And once you actually feel and believe in yourself and say, hey, you know what, I can do this, and don't let anyone get in your way. Like I mentioned this before, people might try to stop you. People might try to say, hey man, you're not making any money yet. Like I heard that plenty of times in the beginning, how much are you getting paid? How much are you getting paid? I'm like, look, I'm not making any money yet. money, I'm not thinking about that yet. This is very, very crucial, okay? Remember this. Don't think of the money. When you're starting your brand, whether you're, whatever it is you're doing, rebranding, starting a brand new one, you have a goal, you have a vision, you have something you're passionate about, don't think of the money. The money will come. If you have a clear strategy on what you want to do, think to yourself, maybe how could you make money on this down the road? But if you have good content, if you have something really good, something that's really valuable, you can find a way to make money on it. Trust me. I never thought I'd be getting paid to do interviews or to go to events or do all these things, and now, now I am. And it's all because I didn't think of the money. I prayed and I put good things out there, and it came back. Remember, whatever you put out is what you're going to get back in. It's kind of what I mentioned last week. Your brand is a true representation of who you are. So whatever you're putting out there into the world, and you're not being greedy, and you're not thinking you're going to try to rip somebody off, or you're not thinking of the money right away, and you're just thinking you're being a kind person, showing gratitude, being professional, and remember, no one is obligated to buy from you. When it comes to sales and it comes to your brand, no one is obligated to buy from you. They don't have to. And you can't put that pressure on them and expect them to want to buy from you. You should be thankful. Just the fact that they're interested in what you have to offer. And being the person, a nice person, I base my business model off of being nice to people. Okay, being nice is free. Doesn't cost you anything. Base your business model off being nice to people. When you're nice, when you're professional, when it's not about you, that's when the business will start to turn over and you'll start to see people will remember you and respect you. Very important. Your brand is not about you. Okay? It's about other people. It is you, and it's a reflection of who you are. But if you constantly are going out there making it seem like everything is all about you, being all flashy and, you know, making people look at you like, wow, this person is way over the top, and constantly seeing you and getting frustrated and this and that, that's because it's all about you. You're becoming greedy and selfish and you have a huge ego. Cut that out. I'm telling you right now, it's not going to help you. Your brand should be something that you're doing to help other people. When you think of other people, whether it's, you know, you're a hairstylist, think about making the client happy, offering, you have a salon, offer the best service you can, possible. Have the best staff, think outside of the box. Make sure it's never about you and it's about who you're servicing, who your audience is. When I first started, and I'll say this again, I had a goal of one person. You know, one person, if I can inspire that one person, I'd be happy. And you know what? Even with this series, I said to myself, if I can inspire one person or touch somebody, and you know what? I've gotten, several emails from people directly saying, you know what? This is incredible. You know, whether I'm a hairstylist, whether I'm this. And you know what? Because it wasn't about me. I'm not getting, this is something I'm doing for you guys because I care about people. You know, people ask me sometimes, what do you do? And I go, I care. You know, that's my job, is to care about people and to motivate and inspire them. And that's what you guys should be thinking in this third week, is think about how can you now impact somebody's life? How can you impact somebody by doing whatever it is you're doing? When you think of them, it makes it that much easier. Think of, one person or 5 people. Have a goal. When you have a goal of a certain audience you want to hit or a certain number, and then that one person comes back to you and says, wow, man, you really changed my life and you inspired me so much, that's that fuel you need. So, I might have shared this story with some of you that know me personally, but a lot of what I do is in memory of my mother who, has passed away. It'll be 3 years the end of September, this September, 2012. And she gives me the strength and the courage to do something. And sometimes we need that strength and that motivation. And during this third week, sometimes we're going to be looking to find a source of inspiration. There's going to be people that are going to probably try to get in your way, whether it's, a husband or your wife or a boyfriend or girlfriend or, friends or family. And they're saying, you know what, you're spending all this time doing this, but, where's the money? Why, and they are going to get in your way. Trust me. It's happened with my own, family, my own friends, whatever. People will try to get in your way, coworkers, just keep it to yourself and it'll start to naturally progress. Don't go running out, blasting and everyone, oh, I'm starting this, I'm starting that. Kind of become more solo and a little more low key. That's what I do. I'm very low key sometimes, and I like to keep to myself, and I become somewhat of a loner. And this way you can focus in and not get distracted. So find that source of inspiration. Go online, go watch YouTube videos. Look up to people like Bill Gates or Steve Jobs or Zuckerberg or people, Tony Robbins, who I love. Look and type up people who are successful visionaries and people that inspire you, and watch them and listen to them. I say this again, Gary Vaynerchuk, who's inspired me. He's a great guy, and I've done things that connect with him, and hopefully one day I'll meet him in person. But there's things that you have to do and find a person to connect with to inspire you, whether it's spiritually or religiously, whatever. But I want you guys to watch a short video clip from Rocky. My mentor, many years ago, told me, watch Rocky. And I said, what's the point of watching Rocky for? I can only hear that so many times. But there was a point to watching it. And after I watched it over and over again, Rocky 1, Rocky 2, I said, you know what, now I get it. And especially the first one, when you see it's all about not giving up. Watch this short clip on finding a source of inspiration. It's very emotional, very touching, and I'll be back in a minute.
Slip the jab. Slip the jab. Slip the jab. Slip the jab. That's right. That's it. Hey, I didn't hear no bell. Okay. All right, that's right. Slip the jab. That's it. Mentalize. See that bum in front of you. You see yourself doing right, and you do right. That's pretty. That's very pretty. Time. Ah, come here, Rock. My God, you're ready, ain't you? That Apollo won't know what hit him. You're gonna roll over him like a bulldozer, an Italian bulldozer. You know, kid, I know how you feel about this fight that's coming up, because I was young once, too. And I tell you something. Well, if you wasn't here, I probably wouldn't be alive today. The fact that you're here and doing as well as you're doing gives me, what do you call it, a motivation, huh? To stay alive. Because I think that people die sometimes when they don't want to live no more.
Nature's smarter than people think.
And nature is smarter than people think. Little by little, we lose our friends, we lose everything. We keep losing and losing till we say, you know, oh, what the hell am I living around here for? I got no reason to go on. But with you, kid, boy, I got a reason to go on. And I'm going to stay alive. And I will watch you make good.
And I'll never leave you.
And I'll never leave you until that happens. Because when I leave you, you'll not only know how to fight, you'll be able to take care of yourself outside the ring, too. Is that okay?
It's okay.
Okay. Now I got a little gift for you. Now wait a minute now. Wait a minute.
Really, I don't need nothing.
Look at that. See that? This is the favorite thing that I have on this earth. And Rocky Marciano gave me that. You know what it was? His cufflink. Huh? And now I'm giving it to you. And it's got to be like an angel on your shoulder, see? And if you ever get hurt and you feel that you're going down, this little angel is going to whisper in your ear. He's going to say, "Get up, you son of a bitch!" Because Mickey loves you. Okay?
Thanks, Mick.
All right.
I love you too.
Go after him, kid. Go after him.
Thanks. You was the issue.
There it is.
What happened to his other cufflink?
I don't know. He only gave me one. He gave it to some bum.
Well, I told you that was very, very moving, and every time I watch that, it actually sometimes brings tears to my eyes. You know, that angel, that person that is looking over your shoulder, whether it's my mother, whether it's, you know, somebody in your family, somebody who's passed on, you know, use that as strength to say, you know what, no one is going to get in my way. There's going to be people that want to bring you down, and don't let them bring you down. You can trust yourself. You can rely on yourself. You know, you're your best friend. You know, you can love people, and it's great to, you know, have important people in your life and feel loved and love them back. But you know what? You can always count on yourself, and you control your emotions, you control your feelings. But sometimes you need that fuel, that source, and sometimes you need to channel that in. So I love watching that clip, and you know, it's so touching and so moving. Something else I want to talk to you about, which brings us back to passion, is having a passion for what you do. You know, don't think of the money, think of the passion. You know, I've listen to some of the greatest people, most successful people in the world, and it's very inspiring to watch them and listen to them. Here's a clip from Steve Jobs, who talks about passion, and then there's another clip following up, listening to Puff Daddy, of all people, P. Diddy, talking about success and money. So check this out.
People say you have to have a lot of passion for what you're doing, and it's totally true, and the reason is because it's so hard that if you don't, any rational person would give up. It's really hard, and you have to do it over a sustained period of time. So if you don't love it, if you're not having fun doing it and you don't really love it, you're going to give up. And that's what happens to most people, actually. If you really look at the ones that ended up, you know, being successful, unquote, in the eyes of society, and the ones that didn't, oftentimes it's the ones that are successful loved what they did so they could persevere when, you know, when it got really tough. And the ones that didn't love it quit because they're sane, right? Who would want to put up with this stuff if you don't love it? So it's a lot of hard work, and it's a lot of worrying constantly. And if you don't love it, you're going to fail. So you got to love it. You got to have passion. And I think that's the high order bit. The second thing is you've got to be a really good talent scout, because no matter how smart you are, you need a team of great people, and you've got to figure out how to size people up fairly quickly, make decisions without knowing people too well, and hire them, and, you know, see how you do and refine your intuition, and be able to help, you know, build an organization that can eventually just, you know, build itself, because you need great people around you.
Thank you. You're not, trust me, you're not going to be successful, and you have to be patient when you're trying to find and do something that you love. There may not be an opportunity there, but just don't lose hope, don't lose faith. And also, I think that I've been trying to also go on shows like this to try to teach young men and women that it's not a quick thing. A lot of people see me on television or they hear about these numbers, and trust me, I'm probably worth hundreds of millions of dollars, but I don't have that in the bank right now. I haven't done selling of my companies. One day I'll get to that point, but I'm still proud of what I've achieved. And it's not a thing, I try to tell all the young people out there, it's not going to happen quick. It's not going, if you get into it and then overnight, you know, you're working somewhere, I'm going to be in the music business and I'm going to be like Sean. It doesn't happen that quick. You have to be ready to sacrifice and put in the long hours and the work and really master this industry.
All right, so you should be feeling pretty inspired right now. Maybe some of you might be crying, some of you might be, you know, full of joy, full of excitement, but I want you to connect with what you've watched and say, you know what, I'm going to embrace my passion. I'm going to embrace that strength that's going to carry me through the challenges, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it happen. You're not going to think of the money. You know, think about maybe long term, about, you know what, this is my business plan, and even if you have something, a product, you know, don't think about, sell. Don't do that, because it will come back to you. Now, of course, if you're coming up with a product, you know, something that really can be monetized right away, it's different. But when you're trying to build a brand, it's a completely different type of thing, you know. And for people who have the money, they have all the resources, great, go for it. But, you know, for people that don't have millions of dollars and looking to do something to maybe, you know, step away a little more from their full-time job and focus more on their passions, and then seeing how they can turn it into money eventually, this is something that's very exciting to do. It's building it from the ground up. So in your third week, I want you to start really focusing on, you know, doing videos of yourself. You know, start after you find out what it is. Now it's time to start making these things happen. Then you start putting them on your YouTube channel. Then you start putting them on your Facebook channel. Something very, very important to remember. When you're doing social media for yourself, and I learned this the hard way, do not spam on other people's Facebook pages. Do not. That is totally looked down on. And I was doing it when I first started. You know, I would like my page here, like my page here. Do this, do that, do this, do that. It's not cool to do that, trust me. And I still, to this day, my Facebook page on my wall get people post stuff constantly that I'm trying to take down. You know, I'll make a post saying, hey, you know, treat people like you want to be treated, and then someone will post underneath it something about their own company trying to sell something. I'm like, what? You know, just my biggest suggestion when starting out social media and putting yourself out there, don't put anything on anyone else's page. Let them come to you, because when you have good stuff, people will come to you. Don't think you have to have a million likes in a week, or, you know, start off with a small number, because remember, it's not the number of people that's important. It's the people that make up the number. Remember, 1 like equals 1 person. 5 likes equals 5 people. Every one of those numbers is a real human being with feelings and emotions that's taking the time to like your page. Let them like your page in a genuine way because they respect what you do. Don't force it upon them. Don't constantly try to sell your services or sell what you're doing. You know, maybe here and there it might be cool, like if you're doing something that you know somebody directly, you're helping them out, that's cool. But do not start spamming people's pages, begging them for likes or begging them to, you know, follow you on Twitter or watch your stuff. Just post it on your page and people will come to you. Don't think of the numbers, all right? So I would love to start seeing some of your, sample websites or your blogs, videos, YouTube stuff. Please share this stuff with me, guys. This is the turning point now, because at this stage you have the things that are ready. You have maybe your business cards, you have your logo. Hopefully some of you guys have gotten your logo. You got a clear vision now of what you're doing, and now you're ready to start putting it out there. Okay, so by next week you should be just about ready to start going out. And the next week, week 4, is going to be the final week where it's going to be a true test where you're saying, all right, now you're ready to go. Now you're ready to start getting yourself out there, going to events and doing this and doing that. But you can't go there empty-handed. You need things in line before you can start selling yourself. And I'm going to teach you next week how to actually sell yourself and, let people know who you really are. There's a certain way to go about doing it. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Definitely, like I said, send me your information, keep giving me great feedback, and I can't do this without you guys. Thank you all for inspiring me and giving me the courage to do this for you. So I'm Steven, the Salon Guy, and I'll see you guys soon.